For reasons that aren't really clear to me, my apple tree has gone crazy this year. I've got just hundreds and hundreds of apples on this tree. So my choice was either to use these apples somehow or to pick their rotting corpses off the ground in the fall sometime. I prefer eating apple pie to picking up rotten apples. So without further ado, here is my foolproof recipe for how to make an apple pie with your own backyard apples. Hey everyone, it's Greg Rairdan from Century 21 Masters, and today I'm going to teach you how to make an apple pie. You may be asking yourself, what does an apple pie have to do with real estate? And the answer is nothing, but I'm sure you're getting all very bored with market updates, so let's make a pie instead, okay? Let's go. Making an apple pie is really two separate projects, the pie dough and the apple filling. So let's start with the pie dough. Here are the ingredients you're going to need. You're going to need 2.5 cups of flour. You'll need 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, half a cup of shortening, and 3/4 cup or a stick and a half of butter. On top of that, you're going to need ice cold water, or if you want to get a little more adventurous, half water, half vodka. That makes the dough flakier. There's probably some chemistry reason for it, but don't ask me what it is. Now, the most important thing about this is you need the butter and the shortening cold. I usually put in the fridge an hour before I'm going to start. Otherwise, you're going to make a big mess and it's not going to roll out properly. So I like to do this in a food processor. Put all the dry ingredients in, pulse it for a few seconds so it's all mixed. And then I added my cut up shortening and butter and mix that until it looks basically like sand. At that point, you start adding the ice cold water or the water vodka mix slowly, just until it starts clumping up in the food processor. At that point, you stop the food processor, take out the giant ball of dough, and then split it into 2 halves. One half will be your base, and the other half will be your top. You'll flatten these out, and then put them in some cling wrap. Put them in the fridge for at least an hour, or if you're in a hurry, put them in the freezer for 10 minutes, and that should be enough. Okay, now we come to the trickiest part of this, and that's rolling out the dough. At least I find it's the trickiest part. I find the more flour you use, the easier this job gets. The biggest problem I run into is the dough sticking to the mat or to the counter if you're just doing it straight on the counter. So I'm pretty liberal with the flour. Get it started, make sure it's flipping okay, not sticking yet, that's good. This up here, real nice. Oh boy, okay. And roll it out. Okay. Hey, that looks pretty good. Before I start working with the apples, I like to mix together the sugars. You need a quarter cup of white sugar, a quarter cup of brown sugar, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a quarter teaspoon of nutmeg. And mix this all together, and a pinch of salt as well. Actually, if you want to make sure your apple is not soupy, you can add a little bit of cornstarch to that as well. Okay, to peel and core the apples, I've enlisted my very talented helper, Maya, here, and she's going to show you how to use this super cool tool here to peel and core apples. Once those are all cored and peeled and chopped up, you throw them in into a bowl, add about a tablespoon of lemon, that'll stop the oxidation of the apples, and then mix it all together with the sugars. Once everything's mixed up really well, you're going to add these to the pie crust. And then after that, now we need to put the pie crust on top, which is just basically the same thing. Roll out the pie crust. You can just put that crust on top and put some vent holes on top, but I am going to show you how to do a lattice, which is my favorite kind of pie crust, mostly just because it looks really cool. Once the lattice is completed, you're going to brush the lattice with milk or maybe an egg wash and then sprinkle sugar on top of it. Throw it in the oven for 10 minutes at 450 degrees. And then after 10 minutes, set the timer for 40 minutes at 350 degrees. Okay. And here's the final product. Don't forget, not only am I a mediocre baker, I'm also a terrific realtor.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.